Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you're listening. This is Reality in Laws. I am comic actor MD Cappy, and I'm here with the great and brilliant sister-in-law of mine, Melissa, who happens to be a guidance counselor. And yes, also my guidance counselor. We are going to break down what 90 Day Fiance reveals about love, culture, family, and some questionable life choices. Today, we're going to break down the couples of 90 Day Fiance Season 12, Episode 10. So, without any further ado, I would like to introduce my great sister in law, Melissa. What do you say, Melissa?
What do you say, Cappy?
I say a lot today after this episode.
I know. This was a very interesting episode for me. I
It
would
was,
like
yeah,
to ask you,
ask away.
and we've even talked about this episode a little bit before we started, and I still have so much to say. So, would you say this episode is, I'm going to give you a multiple choice. You ready
I
for this?
love it. Love questions.
Okay.
Love it.
Would you say the key word of this episode is, and I have four choices for you to choose from, and I suspect you might also have a fifth, but
you know your brother-in-law, don't you?
okay. Choice A is respect and dick respect. Choice B is culture. Choice C is the great outdoors. And choice D is passive aggressive punishing.
Passive
Do
aggressive punishing.
Yes.
Nice.
Is it though?
Not really. Um,
He's contemplating for
I'm
those who are just
contemplating.
listening.
I'm contemplating. That's a
And if I
great.
should, I'm gonna interrupt
Yeah,
you for a plug
sure.
because we're on YouTube now. So
Yeah,
if anyone actually wants to see visually Cappy contemplate, it's
yeah.
fascinating.
Because,
This
when I contemplate, I have to do something with my hands. So I twirl. I have to fidget with something. And Jen is great. She looks at me. She goes, "You're fidgeting. What are you thinking about?"
is that the pen from Malaysia?
It sure is. This is a pen that was given to me by my very own guidance counselor.
Aw.
Uh-huh. I love this pen.
Wow.
I love
That's
this pen. I
awesome.
sleep with this pen next to me with my pillow.
Okay, that's weird.
That's very weird. Dick respect. Okay, the answer to your question,
Please.
it's not culture. No. No, it's not culture.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
you know what? I am gonna say I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna s and this is very unlike me, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
say dick respect.
Okay.
I am. Uh,
I would say there's a fine line in this episode between dick respect and culture. And that's what I was trying to like weed out here for you. Like this idea of is it disrespect or is it just being true to your own culture? But you lean toward dick respect, which is interesting because we'll get to that.
it is interesting
Probably.
because I
Yeah.
have my own thoughts about the culture.
Right.
I understand people have their cultures, but when you're together, there has to be compromise.
Right.
You know, it if
And
I yeah,
culture is like a really tricky one.
yes, it is
And I think
tricky.
about that, like you were just visiting us in Malaysia, and it's
Yeah,
like here in particular, there's such a strong culture of like Malay, Indian, Chinese,
yeah,
lots of others. Those are like, just the main cultures. And it's very in your face in a way
yeah,
because everyone, it's even in the legal code, right? So it's quite uncompromising in that way. Like there's literally different laws based on your religion and culture here. You don't have to abide by the same laws as like the Muslims maybe have to do here
yeah.
regarding drinking and stuff like this.
Oh,
But
yeah. Mhm.
see, then marry someone who might have a different culture,
Yeah,
and in your culture, the man's culture then overrides the woman's culture, but in her culture, that's not the case. And you come off like you're being dick respect can't even say it, dick respectful.
I know, but that's how I felt to in
Right,
answering your question.
right, right.
Yeah,
No, I totally see, and that's exactly what we see. We see
yeah,
an asshole right
yeah,
on the screen. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
And, um, yeah, that's quite fascinating to me. I love also how TLC normally when there's subtitles, they put the subtitles on for when the foreigners are speaking because their English is accented. But TLC then doesn't clarify what they're saying. It makes it funnier by putting words like dick respected.
yeah.
Right? Like that's, and
But
they do
that's
that a
how it
few
sounded
times. No,
when he
totally.
said it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But
Uh-huh.
normally with the subtitles, they put the correct version because we
Right.
want to read what they're trying to say.
But not at that
But
time, they didn't.
no, a few
No.
times this episode they do that.
Yeah,
It's really funny,
it's
but
really
also
funny.
trolly.
Very.
And
Extremely.
then also, I say the outdoors because I felt like the outdoors feature prominently,
Yeah,
because a lot of the conversations, it's like getting out of the house, changing this like routine and going outside for fresh air while having these conversations.
and even
Everyone
sh
is outdoors
and
at some
even
point in
Shea's
time.
lake party, they were outdoors beer
Yep.
funneling.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
You have to beer funning is much better outdoors. And
Yeah,
then, we have Thomas and Paula also outdoors.
at the
And
farm.
we can understand his enthusiasm for the camping table now, can't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Where's
And
Renee? Where is she? I wonder what she's doing now. She's feeding sheep or doing something, milking the cows
yeah, Catie goes outdoors. She's going for a run.
with Ryan, which I have a lot of questions about that, but
I know
I'll
you
save
do. I
that.
know.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's get into the episode starts out with Marissa and Edward.
it certainly does. They hit you they hit you with high heat right out of the gate in this episode.
They do. It's the morning, and Marissa is it's funny, even in my notes, I wasn't sure how to write it. I was like, is Marissa telling him that he didn't put out the trash to the curb correctly?
Yeah, that's what I
Is
thought,
she
yeah.
what verb there? Is she berating him? Is
Yeah, yeah.
she
I
is it
thought she
what's happening
berated him.
there?
I thought she berated him a little bit, like, "Well, you didn't put the garbage out in the proper place at the curb."
Right.
And
And then it's funny because you're right, like, she says it that way,
yeah.
but it's like, "Gee, where does she get that communication style from?" We learn later in that episode.
Uh-huh. Her learning curve is I think she's trying to learn how to communicate. You know, I still
Mhm.
think
Yeah.
she's the most impressive to me. And I know everyone thinks I favor her, but
I mean, look, it's okay for you to favor her, like,
yeah,
fine.
I just
And
think she's
fine.
I think she's being the most vulnerable without being angry. I think she's being the most honest without being angry, and that's the way you have to be in a relationship. And I think
I
she's
think
really trying.
yeah. I would say, I don't feel like I'm biased like you are about that, but maybe I
Yeah.
am. Mark said is sort of interesting. He said Mark opinion right up front.
Yeah.
He said, I think that they are the best communicators in
Uh,
this regard, not in the world, but regarding our couples here, that in this episode.
oh, without a doubt. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no question. Yeah. And even
And
Edward was
mhm.
so self-aware that he was upset and he said, "I need a minute," and he walked away. Instead
Yes.
yeah, I
Yes.
thought that was a
And that was
very self-aware. Most
it's
people would
self-aware. Yeah.
sit there and,
But
start arguing.
people I don't know, people have a lot to say. But, it reminded me of Love Island when Melody was like, "Give me 10. Give me 10." And she, like, walked away. But actually, that's self-aware. Like, I mean, as crazy as it might be. But,
Yeah,
yeah, I
it
thought that
is.
too. He walked away. and then came back. And he walked away, got it off his chest. There are
Yes.
producers. Could you imagine is every time you have an argument with your spouse that then there's a producer in the house and then you guys go to your different corners, unleash what you're thinking without a
Uh-huh.
filter to the producer, and then you go back together. Like it's
I think that would be unbelievably great.
yeah, yeah.
It would.
But then it's shown to the world.
And then it's shown to the world, which is not so good.
Okay, so then, it's funny because, she does say in her interview, she's like, it's taking a lot longer for him to integrate into the culture. There's that word culture,
Yeah.
than I thought it would.
Yeah.
And again, there's the assumption he's got to integrate. Okay. I probably should be more patient with him, she says, but
Really?
I was under a different impression of how things were going to go, which is interesting. That line here, I was under a
Yeah.
different impression of how things were going to go, is reminiscent of what Debbie also says to her daughter later on. So we'll get to Debbie
Yes.
next. But and then and then, she's like, ever since he's gotten here, he's been nothing but loving and supportive, sweet, caring, thoughtful with me. And
Yeah.
here I am, like he comes into my country, and I'm just like, you're doing this wrong, and you don't know this, and you're
Uh-huh.
not prepared, and
Yeah.
it's not nice. So you're right, she's self-aware. But then TLC presents us with a montage of Marissa's meanness,
Yeah.
right? Like, yelling at not yelling, again, my verb choice here, yelling,
Yeah, she
telling
was
him
berating him.
this,
Yeah.
berating. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Which I thought was a
And
little unfair, actually.
I thought so too,
Yeah.
except the one time when he wanted to, like, put his finger in the ziti.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could see or whatever that was.
Yeah, it was in the
She
ZD.
yeah, yeah. She was, like, so stressed out, right, when her family was coming, that it almost reminds me, like, this was, like a flashback in a sense to when the family was coming over and she had all the trays of lasagna or whatever, the Italian meal, and yeah, in my family too, you can't stick
I
your finger
understand
in
that,
the
but how a
but
relationship
she
evolves.
wasn't she wasn't nice.
She wasn't nice, but
No.
where how I'm going to explain it, you're going to think I really favor her. But think of her mindset at the moment. You
Yeah.
know, her mindset was her mother's coming over, the cousin, whatever, whoever, all these people were coming over. And she knows in the back of her mind how her mother is. She's getting very stressed out, and it's almost childlike. It's like taking the icing off a fresh chocolate cake and tasting it. People will get annoyed by that. So it's something that annoys her. Um, but it's when you get to know a person in a relationship, they don't like when you put your finger in
Right.
food.
Right.
So
Like, I don't mind that, but my sister does.
your sister does.
You know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I
You
have
don't do that.
I have
I think
bared
she
witness. I have
yeah.
because I'm a you know, I do silly things like that. I'm a scotch.
Yes. Yeah.
And I scotch, and one time I remember putting my finger in something, and she was like, "What in the F are you doing?" You
Yeah.
know?
Once I
Yeah.
took a piece of tofu while she was still marinating it, and she threw a cauliflower head at me. I'm not joking.
Oh, we were at the pool the other day, and I was scotching her while she was eating cherries, and she spit 2 cherry pits at me. I actually thought it was pretty funny because she was scotching me back, and I like that playful side of her.
So I'm still coming down off Love Island, so I can't I'm sorry for all the Love Island
Oh,
references,
yeah,
but
the
they did
Love
this
Island.
ridiculous, gross challenge where they, like, put this food in their mouth, and then they like a bird feeding their young,
Yeah,
like,
that's
dropped it in the
disgusting.
other person's in
Yeah,
their
that's
partner's mouth.
disgusting.
Yeah, so anyway, back to
You gotta get
Marissa.
shots after you do something like that, don't you?
I guess they must test them.
I thought that was funny. I guess it didn't land properly. I'll try better next time.
You should try harder, Cappy.
Yeah, try hard. Actually, you tell me don't try so hard. I'm funnier when I don't try.
It's true, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But so when Marissa says things like I feel like I'm talking to him in a way that's not nice.
Yeah.
Her mom, they're at the country club now, and she's talking to her mom, and
Yeah.
her mom responds, it's so odd. My mom would never say this. What she says is, you can't be nice all the time. It's not good. If he doesn't say anything, he's going to, the second part, if he doesn't say anything, he's going to resent you. Okay.
Yeah.
But the way the mom's like, well, you can't be nice all the time. It's not good. I don't know. Just the
Yeah,
mom. The
the mom
mom.
says he
This
can't be
mom.
nice all the time. He's gonna become resentful. Oh yeah, I resent you because you're being nice all the time. Uh, I'd like to know how is it? How did someone come to think like that? I don't know.
Well, her mom and her mom. It's a lineage, right? Well,
Yeah.
it is interesting because then Marissa's like, I know, like, stand up for yourself. And then they're both like, I know, like, be a man.
Oh, be a man. Oh, be a man. Yeah. Bull
It's,
crap.
there's a weird thing that sometimes happens too. And I don't know if this is what's going on here, but sometimes, like, for example, like when I'm at work or something and someone complains, I hate complaining. I'm just like, get the job done.
Yeah.
But sometimes you feel like you have to validate the person or just to have the conversation. And
Mhm.
so you're like, oh, yeah, 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 that sucks. I know. Okay. And then you get on. And in some ways, I feel like Marissa's doing that with her mom here. Like, of
Huh.
all the people
Interesting.
she can talk to about this, of course, you want to talk to mom. I get it. But also, what your mom thinks of this relationship.
Th-
So you
That
know the kind of advice you're
yeah.
gonna get because it's not
Yeah.
the first time you talk to mom about
No,
relationships, right?
no. In fact, I was surprised that she had that little breakfast or brunch, whatever it was, at the country club, sitting down with the mother. She knows where the mother's coming from. I mean,
Yeah.
the mother makes it very, very obvious. So I was disappointed in that. I mean, she should be talking to a therapist or someone else besides mom. No disrespect to her mother. I don't know her
But
mother.
a third party that's not
There
as
should have been a
invested as the
yeah.
mom.
If
Mhm.
she
You
could
know
find an objective third party, yeah.
yeah. So not only does the mom and maybe this mom is lovely and it's how it's cut, but this is what we
Yeah.
see. It's kind of, and so not only does she say not only does she not say be nicer, right? She says you
Yeah.
can't be nice, but she also puts it on Edward. Like it's Edward's fault for not telling her daughter to be nicer, like it's his fault.
Well, that's almost kinda like, she's being a little deceptive. She's trying I think she's playing some mind tricks on her daughter there by trying to blame her and then blame Edward. So she's compounding every kind of factor into the manipulation process of telling Marissa, who I feel bad for at this point watching her sitting at the table with the mother. She was almost backing her into a corner like, "You have no way out of this. You have to break it up with him at some point." That's how I took that that portion. I did.
Yeah. I have a few things about that too. To piggyback on that. One is, Marissa says once you start having one doubt, a lot of other things keep creeping into your mind.
Which is
And this
so
word
true.
doubt
So
is
true.
central also to this episode. Could have been a fifth choice for what the episode's about, which is doubt, right? But yeah, that snowballing of doubt.
It is.
And if you don't mind, I teach this class in high school about knowledge, and there was a knowledge question that the students had to write on. I didn't make it up. Like, this is an external board makes it up. But the question was, to what extent do you agree that doubt is central to the pursuit of knowledge? And that is something that high schoolers have to write on. And I know that's a huge question and sounds like it's very
Uh, to
philosophical.
me, it's not a huge question because doubt is,
Mhm,
I think, essential to knowledge. Because if you doubt it, and if you're being challenged to learn about whatever you're doubting, you can you
mhm.
you can learn something.
Right. And if you think about it, like in the sciences and how that's very doubt based,
Yes.
even in history and all through all the forms of learning and all of genres, that
Yeah.
it's or disciplines, I should say, it is to it is at least somewhat central, if not central. And so
Yeah.
if you really do want to learn about this relationship and if it's going to work for you, it is okay to have doubt as long as it is central to your pursuit of knowledge and not necessarily spiraling out of control.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
you know how I defer to the Gottman Institute, correct?
Right.
According to the Gottman Institute, uh, it's only like half of relationships that have been studied over the past 50 years. Uh, People have said, I'm 100% sure that I'm in the right relationship. Everyone at some point has a doubt.
Except for except for one. I can say one person doesn't have a doubt, and that's Aisha.
Oh, no, she doesn't have a doubt. No,
It seems inauthentic for a person not to have a doubt
it
because
does.
er
It does.
because that's not my experience.
It's not my experience either. And it's just society in a whole. There's so many things, there's so many distractions, and some people show you, like I have told you about, sometimes when you first meet someone, they show you their representative. It's not who they
Right.
truly are. So, and if you're well versed enough to understand that's the representative, it's going to create doubt. But with Marissa, soon as there's one doubt, there's a domino effect. More doubts come into play.
Right, and her mom knows this. I don't know, this is the passive
Well,
aggressive
let me ask you,
aspect.
you have a great
Uh-huh.
mother, right?
I hit the jackpot.
You hit
Yeah.
you hit the
Mhm.
golden jackpot.
Mhm.
Um, who knows better than your mother, right?
Mhm.
And,
Right.
sh I don't think your mother would ever steer anyone wrong.
Uh, Not intentionally. I mean, I don't know. I would say,
No,
look, you have to have a doubt. I have a little doubt there, but no, I can't imagine actually, because she does have such a pure intention. The
she
problem
does.
with having a mother like my mom is you grow up kind of thinking that that's how all people operate, and it's just not.
It's
That
not.
that you hit problems that way.
It's not. No,
Yeah,
that's true.
because when the mom says, "Edward is a really nice guy, but you can't teach someone to have fire in the belly." What I learned about that is so much, but one takeaway is something like she's valuing ambition over
Uh-huh.
niceness, which is
Yeah,
not my mom. Like that's, just
yeah.
to piggyback on what you're saying about my mother, like I was just raising it in a different way
Yes.
where it's really not about winning the game. It's about how you play and your integrity there, which is something I pushed back about growing up because I was like, no, I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. And
Yeah.
my family would make fun of me for that ambition, literally. Um,
Yes, I've been told.
but, but it's not valued in this
It's
way. It's not coming through as a value here.
no,
What's the value is the ambition.
no,
But
and,
yeah.
no
And it,
disrespect to you, my sister, but winning isn't everything. It is all part of, quote, and it was named in this scene, the process.
right.
It's not all about winning. It's about going through the process. You're having doubts. Um, there's so many questions, especially, I mean, you're really, the odds are against these people to begin with, coming from different cultures, different countries. You're gonna have doubts. It's so tough. Um, but getting back to your point where valuing ambition over being nice. That's a great question. That's a great moral question. That's a great
Well,
relationship question.
yeah, and look, I thought about this. So 2 points on that.
Yeah.
One is Macbeth, that I know you're an actor. Lady
Mhm.
Macbeth wanted her husband to have ambition.
Yeah.
And when he did get that ambition, he ended up murdering all these people,
Yeah,
right? To
exactly.
get what he wanted, and it
Uh-huh.
backfired on her.
Yep.
And the second part of that is I wonder what, and again, that's like the philosophy teacher in me, what what is meant by ambition? And does Edward actually lack ambition? I
I
don't
don't
think so. I think
No.
actually
I
he lacks
don't think he
resources.
does. No.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
Listen, where he came from, he's even said he worked very hard in the service industry.
Mhm.
So he's been working probably since he's a little kid. I don't think he lacks ambition. No, I don't.
You
No.
know, when they one of the scenes that they cut to when they were outdoors in the park, and the beginning of the scene, they show some deer, and they show some folks, like, working, at the park,
Yeah.
like, the grounds crew,
Yep.
and they look Latino, right? And so
Yeah.
it's to me, it's like that juxtaposition to those as in those folks. I don't know who they are or even that
Yeah.
they are Latino. It was very quick, and but the idea that they don't have ambition just because they haven't achieved a certain amount of money in their life is completely ridiculous.
See,
I mean, it's
I know, and you know how I look at things outside of the box?
Mhm,
The question of, do you have ambition? Is it ambition because to make a certain amount of money or to, obtain some sort of status? Or is it ambition to become part of the
mhm,
family, to
right.
know where the garbage goes,
To be a great stepdad,
to be a great stepdad, to be a great
to be a great
partner?
partner.
There's
Mhm.
different levels of there's different definitions of ambitious or
Right,
ambition. That's how
right.
I looked at it. But I don't know where Marissa was coming from with the ambition. I thought she was coming from not necessarily a money thing, but like, what are you gonna do with your life now that you're here?
Yeah, and I think that's coming from her mom because it comes
Yeah,
from her mom.
absolutely.
So then later on, when they're at the park and she's speaking with Edward about all of this, and her doubts. And she does say, that she knows she's been a nightmare so far and
Yeah,
that she feels really bad about it.
yeah,
And then she says, right, which of course shows that she's self-aware. But also she says this. But I want to understand what this whole process has been like for you so far because I know it hasn't been easy for me.
yeah,
And then in the interview, she says, I know I've been really tough on Edward and I feel really bad about it, right? Rude and kind of snippy. I don't like how I've been behaving. And this
yeah,
to me is key. But I feel like I can't control it because I'm starting to question if this is the right decision for me.
yeah.
And that so struck me
Mhm.
because it's like the definition of passive aggressive, right? And it's like coming from this place of I'm questioning, I'm having internal conflict, but instead of saying it, I am being mean to you and controlling and rude and snippy because we're not dealing with the thing head on. And yet she knows all of this and she's still doing it.
So you think she's almost, self-sabotaging?
Well, I think it's like she's self-sabotaging, but then there's this awareness that she's doing it
Yeah,
and she wants to stop it. And the only
yeah,
way she knows how to stop it is to confront it head on. She's like a Northeastern woman, right? You confront that shit head on.
yeah,
And it's met with, and again, this comes up with Debbie and Mito a bit. It's met with, look, my life, Edward's like, my life has been hard
yeah,
and I just pull through. It's like when I hear a colleague complain, I'm like, what the fuck? We got 40 minutes to figure this out. Let's just figure it out. I don't want
yeah,
to hear the complaint, right? I just want to solve the problem. And he's like, I don't I don't talk about these things. I don't want to show weakness and look like a little girl crying.
yeah,
I and she's like, but this is how I work through problems. Like, I need to talk about it. And if we
yeah,
don't get it out there, it's gonna it's gonna manifest itself
Yeah,
in a way such that we're taking digs at each other and resenting each other,
yeah. That's the
is
worst thing
my
that could happen.
interpretation of what she means. So it's like she knows she's being, I don't wanna say a bitch because that's overused, but it's like she knows that she's taking digs at him
Mhm.
and not being nice to him, and she wants to be nice, yet it's like she can't do it because of her anxiety about what is happening and the time clock that is ticking on this decision.
Yeah. A couple things struck me, when they were sitting on the grass, I was watching her eyes, how she looked at him. To me, you could tell a lot by just how someone looks at someone while they're speaking
Mhm.
to them. And
Yeah.
she's saying, I'm sorry, but, I do have some doubts. There was a part of me that was thinking, um, she was trying to let him down easy right then and there. Um, But she is self-aware, but I'm gonna tell you something. I have to ask you for just a very short Cappy's corner because I I have this thing about relationships that people who have doubt and a lot of fear,
Hmm.
and I think she has a lot of fear. I think she's terrified. I think
Right.
Marissa is really, really scared, and I call it IDS.
Okay.
It's impending doom syndrome.
Is this your term?
That is my term. I never read it anywhere.
Cool.
I wrote it down when I was watching her and Edward, um, in the park, and I said, it looks like they both have, like, they both have impending doom syndrome.
I'm gonna trademark that.
I hope so.
Okay.
It's yours, sister,
No, I
and
mean for you. It's ours.
oh, it's great. Yeah. It just came to my mind when I was watching both of them, and I think she's really scared. She's really
Yeah.
scared, but I don't think she's scared just because of the relationship. I think she's scared over all of it, her family, her kids. Because I really do think she really cares for him very, very much, and I think he's very good for her. I think he gives her balance where you don't have to be serious all the time. You don't have to be so, the CEO of companies all the time. You could let your hair down, so to speak, and just have fun. And
He's
IDS
y
baby.
yeah, yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we're gonna refer back to that now
Yeah.
in all these couples. I think it's really interesting. I I
You
I
know who else
say
has IDS? I'm gonna cut you
a
off.
lot of these folks,
A
yeah,
lot of these folks. Debbie
yeah,
has it
yeah.
bad.
There's a lot of overlaps in a
Yes,
strange
there
way
is.
between
Sorry to interrupt
the
you.
no, 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 that's fine. No, no. You're good.
Uh,
Bro, you're good. Between Marissa and Edward and Debbie and Mito in this episode. So let's talk about them next. But first, what you mentioned too, it's like it's very common in relationships that the thing that attracts you to a person at some point also gets on your nerve about them,
yeah, yeah,
So it's like
uh-huh,
his playfulness and all this that he has about him will get on her nerve like it's another child, but actually that's
yes.
the thing you love about this guy, and that's super common, like,
It's very
every
common. I
yeah.
think I told you, the first part of our relationship that I had with your sister, I would send her an audio message of a joke or send her a joke,
Mhm,
even before we got together, and she would share it
mhm,
with your mother. If you were there, she would share it with you, Ava, all that stuff.
mhm.
Now I don't wanna say it's annoying, but sh I'll tell her a joke and she looks at me like, "It's not funny, dude." So, yeah, where it was cute in the beginning, and I was just trying
Right,
to show her my light side,
right.
I'm not saying she's annoyed, but it's like, "You're not funny."
Yeah.
You're not funny. Come up with better stuff.
Like after a while, Mallory will just be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, your asshole's clean," you know,
I'm another mouth to feed and
right,
an asshole to clean.
yeah, uh, um, back to I have like this inner conflict right now. Like we should move on to the next couple, but this is just so compelling
It
that
is.
when you mention the self-sabotaging, I think in my notes here, I'm just looking at my notes and I wrote, "Is her passive aggression testing him, like a subconscious test?"
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Like like if I keep digging at him and digging at him and digging at him, will that then prove that he is really in it with me and not just putting up with it for papers?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the reason why. I see what you're saying and I respect it.
Like
I
subconsciously. I don't think it's a
subconsciously,
conscious. Yeah.
yeah. How I view it 2 different ways. I think, why I respect Marissa is it seems like, yes, there may be a piece of self-sabotage in there, but this particular episode, it looked like she wasn't afraid to have the hard conversation with him in the park,
No, but
and
also
that
what she
goes a
says
long
that
way with me.
right, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
But it's also the result of the conversation. So 2 things about that. One is the result of the conversation is that, 1, they seem to come to an agreement, right? Like,
yeah,
they seem to be together at the end of it,
yes,
right? So that they have that. And then 2, her need seems to be communicated, like, her need and his need. Her
yeah,
need is something about she wants a strong man to put her in check, which is
yes,
weird, but okay.
yeah,
Um, and that's,
yeah,
I guess, why I'm saying it's like, is she subconsciously or not? I don't know, kind of like testing him, like taking these digs about the trash, about this, about that, about the ZD, about the da 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 da, because she wants him to check her, because that's what a strong man does. And again, all of this obviously comes from
is it true
her
that
mom and family or
a
something,
lot of a lot of
hmm
people in society say, that's what women really want? And I can't answer that
Yes.
because I'm not a woman. Is
Well,
do you feel
I
in
can't answer
general?
that because I am but one woman, okay?
Right.
So, um, I mean, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think we hear that a lot these
Yeah.
days, this idea of, "Oh, women want a sensitive man," but then at the end of the day, what they really want is
Yeah.
a strong man, and that a strong man means kinda like an asshole
Yeah,
or
because
someone who's
we
gonna tell her
talked
what to
about this
do,
prior. I'm a
and
sensitive guy. I'm a very sensitive person, very aware of it. But do women really want a sensitive man, like you said?
I can only answer for myself, and I love really
Exactly.
nice, sensitive guys, and that's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah.
But I also think, and again, I'm always call it the lawyer in me or whatever. I'm always
Yeah.
like, what do you mean by that term? Like define that term. When you say a strong man, again with the ambition, like read the book, what does ambition mean? Does it mean
Exactly.
bloodthirstiness or does it mean I
It
want to
could
be the best stepdad I can be?
exactly. It could yeah, it could mean so many it has different variations, different definitions, but she's not
Look,
afraid to have the heart. What?
we know someone in our a younger person in our family who's like a man who says, "I wanna be a stay-at-home dad." Like, that's I would love to do that. And other folks in his, like, blue collar community are like, "Ew, that's not a man." "What are you talking
Yeah,
about?"
right.
And that's actually quite an ambition for a masculine man, so to
Absolutely it
speak,
is.
right? You know? And
'Cause
I
that's the
just think
hardest
this
job in the world in my eyes, is to be a
and isn't a
stay-at-home.
strong right,
Yeah,
right, and so too especially in the culture. So,
yeah,
it's like if Edward's saying, like, "I don't wanna be weak, I don't wanna be like a girl," and she says, I want a strong man," it's like, how do you navigate through that? I also think that to be a strong man is to do the difficult things. To have
yeah,
courage doesn't mean lack of fear, right? To have courage means to
yeah,
navigate skillfully or in the best that you can through the fear. And so
Yeah.
it might be for a strong man to do the hard thing is to have the conversation, which he does. He
I was
gives it his
told
best.
I was told I had strength because I go to therapy every week.
Yeah.
And a
Said
lot
your
of
therapist as
and
you
a
write
lot
the
of
check.
yeah, and a lot of
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
and a lot of people think that a lot of people think, "Oh, you go to therapy, you're weak. You got some sort of issues." No. You're constantly evolving, you're constantly working on things.
Look, having
That's
been a
ambition,
guidance
baby.
yeah, yeah. Look, having been a guidance counselor in many different countries outside of America, in Asian countries,
Yeah.
oftentimes going to see a therapist, getting a diagnosis even, um, is so taboo. You just can't operate within that, you know? And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think that a lot of these cultures, I'm lumping them all
Yeah.
together, whatever, even
But,
in
yeah,
America,
you're kinda
outside of
right.
New York and even in New York, right? It is just a taboo thing, and
It is.
especially for a man. But actually,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
look, it's super sexy for a man to read a poem, to cry,
Yeah.
to access feeling, to communicate.
Yeah.
But it is different because people do have different needs in communicating. You know, like her need is to talk about the messy stuff, and
Yeah.
his need is to not ignore it, but just
No.
shred through it and push through it. But, you know, the mom is right. It will build up and
Oh, yeah.
explode.
Yeah.
Um,
It's gonna be a tinderbox if they don't figure their stuff out.
Speaking of Tinderbox, shall we move on? Let's join us with Debbie and me do in
Oh
New
my
Orleans.
god.
Whew. Okay. So, in many
Ugh.
ways, it's a similar conversation, just done differently,
I had
honestly.
quite a knot in my stomach watching Mito. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
have to say it, I have to
Mm,
get it off
mm.
my chest. I don't know how you felt, but y y please start. I just wanna say that to the listeners out there. I'm real I've had it up to here, and I'm pretty short, but I've had it up to my forehead with this guy.
Yeah.
He's not a
Knowing
nice
you.
person. I'm sorry.
So, we start out, she's outside, she's walking little bit appearance.
I
And I wrote
know.
in
Little
my
bit.
notes, I wrote 55 minutes to wed. I think that means days.
Yeah, I know, I saw the same thing.
And okay. So she says that like they haven't been talking since their argument.
Nope, and sleeping on the couch.
And then she said to the producers, I'm big on people showing you who they are. And this is a big reveal.
And I have a Cappy's corner on that, but
I
I'll
knew you
leave it.
would. I knew you. That's why I paused.
Well, you know what's funny is she says they've been together 6 years. 6 years, you don't need 6 years to see how someone's who they are. People show you if you just keep your mouth shut and you just watch people, they will instinctively show you who they are just by their actions, how they treat you every minute, every day.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated, but if you're so emotionally involved and an emotional period like Debbie is over this situation, you get clouded and you can't see it. You don't see how they're treating you. All as she is seeing is that what she wants, and she's not going to get it from him. She's not.
Yeah.
So
I
if you
I
just
mean,
sit back, people will show you who they are very quickly
mhm.
just by
Well,
just by hanging around with them.
it's the Maya and you know me and I have my Maya Angelou quotes all over the place. But
Yeah,
she says, you know, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
absolutely. Correct. Mhm.
The thing with Debbie is she does have that like sunk cost fallacy where she keeps
Yeah.
saying, but it's been 6 years, it's been 6 years. And I kind of understand that now because I do
Uh,
understand she's like, look, it's been 6 years, but now he's finally here. And so I'm not ready to just throw it away right now
Yeah.
because it took this far just for him to get here. So let me use the time allotted,
Yeah.
this 90 days. I actually understand that now in a way that I previously didn't.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
okay, but I hear you. Like this
Yes.
dude is showing who he is. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But she's also like, okay, I see it. I have the big reveal. Yet let me use all of my time.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to say no. I
No,
get it. Okay.
she's not ready.
So she goes back home. She's like doing her chores. She's vacuuming, right? She had walked her dog.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing. He's doing nothing. She's like, let's
Okay.
go and go by the lake and have a talk. So they go again to the outdoors. And where I say that because oftentimes if you just get out of the house and go for a walk, just the fresh air,
Yeah.
changing the location is so
Changing
helpful.
your optics. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said that, and then Mark was like, yeah, and also the lighting is so good for producers.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, noted, good point.
Very good point.
And so, because I'm like, they're all outside on this episode. And he's like, yeah, the lighting is better. Everyone looks good.
Yeah.
And so, oh gosh, I don't even know where to begin. So it's kind of interesting because where she begins, it's like they're hinting at it, but not getting to it.
Yeah, no.
And then finally, she says, like, it's not okay. You're so closed off now.
Yeah.
And I know this isn't a conversation that you want to have, but if we don't deal with it, it's just going to come up again. Right.
Yeah.
So here we have the same situation in some ways. And she does say to the producers that I'm just dealing with someone who's emotionally immature in
Yeah.
some areas, and me dude needs to let me in. It's not real complicated. I just don't see that without communication as a base. I
He
don't know
should
how to
yeah.
build on that.
He's
And
showing who he is, right? Then
I think he's showing
yeah, he's very
who he.
sullen. So
Mm,
every time there's some sort of strife in their relationship, he gets very sullen. Well, there you have it. That's who he is. Maya Angelou
yeah,
said it. You believe it. They've been together 6 years. You're going to tell me this is the first time they've ran into this situation? I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
right, right. And this is his perspective. He says that he left his family and his work, right, to be in New
Yeah.
Orleans with her.
Yeah.
And he says, I deserve a good heart to be with me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And she says, we both
We
deserve
both
that.
do.
And I'm like, he is asking of her what he himself is not giving,
He's not giving anything.
but he wants it from her, but he's not
Yeah.
giving it to her.
I mean, I agree. He left his home, all that stuff. I get it. I do. But since he's gotten there, what has he given her? Nothing.
But just because you leave your home doesn't mean you can be an asshole.
No, it doesn't give you license to do those sort of things. No.
Am I wrong?
No.
I don't care how
Are we
clean
see
that
are we
asshole
seeing
is.
this wrong? If I leave my home, I could be an asshole to someone. I left my home and my family. Okay, well, it
That's a
was
lot
your
of people in
decision.
Thailand,
And
though.
that's the
A lot of
thing.
foreigners in
I know.
Thailand are like, just I'm gonna do
It
all these asshole things.
He wasn't forced to leave. He did it at his own volition.
Right, right. Yeah, God. And then and the way he talks to her, I think that's what
Oh, it's
really gets me.
horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible. She should have thrown him in the water. She should just pushed him right in the water and said, "Goodbye. Swim back to Egypt."
Well, she says, like, "I know you love me because you did all that." And maybe he does love her, right? He did do all that, and maybe he does love her,
I thought that was a
right?
very insecure thing to say, "I know you love me." I took it
And he's
as
like, "Right."
very insecure.
He said, "Oh, right, 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 right." Well, I just
Yeah,
take it like
yeah.
just because. And here's another thing that maybe we're gonna disagree on, I think, but it comes up in this episode a little bit too, like, is love enough? And it comes up in their segment. She's like, "I know you love me."
Yeah.
But what she's saying is like, "I need more than just love," is
Yeah.
what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But he says, instead of like acknowledging, he just goes, "Very good, excellent."
Yeah, very good,
Like, what the
excellent. Yeah. The hell is
and
that?
m and again, like, it might not be cultural for him to say, "I love you," and that's fine, but it's not cultural for him to be an asshole to her.
No.
He does say, like, life is not just love. Like, I agree, you have to do more than love. It takes a lot more than love to have a long-term relationship. And
Yeah.
maybe you don't even need love, honestly. You don't necessarily to have a long-term relationship,
Yeah.
like an arranged marriage can work out for people
Yeah. Sure.
in a different way from I know how you might see relationships, but this respect
No,
and
I
dick
agree. I
respect,
agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think is the issue. It's that dick respect. Whew, it's bad.
And he
It's
says,
bad.
"Don't say I love you all the time. Do something." So
And I
he's
understand that.
yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, if you go back to the Marissa conversation with Edward, if Edward were to say something like this, like, "Hey, I know you love me, but don't be an asshole to me," so
Yeah.
like, say the garbage thing nicer, like, you could
Right.
there's a
Yeah.
thousand ways you could say it nicer, then do it. You know you're not saying it nicely, so fix that behavior.
Yeah.
Um, and so I understand where they're coming from, but, like, in this particular I don't know, you see her suffering and
She's
trying,
suffering really badly.
and maybe he's suffering, but he's not we don't see him trying,
You know,
is the most generous way I could put it.
just because let me ask you a question. You piqued my interest on something.
Okay.
If he's suffering, she's suffering.
Yeah,
Suffering is suffering. See, I don't
right.
think I personally don't think he's suffering.
Well, he's
I
definitely suffering. He's suffering.
he's suffering, but
And I say that because it seems so clear to me. Like maybe he's depressed. Maybe that's his personality. Not personality is not depression, but he's not
she,
appearing
at least
happy,
she's
except
ple
for on the
at least
streets of New Orleans when he's dancing. But
I understand, but when she's suffering, she's pleading with him. When he's suffering, oh, I understand. He's being very angry and he's actually being kind of vicious to her. So I guess you could put that in the same parallel as
by by
suffering.
vicious, by vicious, you mean he's refusing adamantly and obstinately to validate her.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so because of that, and I know that's a big thing for you, it's like you can't even see that he's suffering. He is suffering, and he's when I say
Yeah.
being an asshole, I mean he's obstinately refusing to validate her.
But why doesn't he just say it then? Why doesn't he just say it? I am not happy
Exactly.
here.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Or
what I don't
whatever.
understand. I'm not
Or I
happy.
love you. Why doesn't he say I love you?
Yeah, you don't have to and because he goes on this little tangent and says, "Why do you have to say I love you all the time? You don't need to say it. You don't need to say it." Well, you're in America now, and people say it.
Right. So I want to come back to, well, that's again culturally. Like I know living in China for a long time. It was like a big joke. They would always joke about how quickly Americans say "I love you" all the time. I was like, "I
Yeah,
love you" to my friends. And
yeah.
they say that they could say, and I speak Chinese too, and that they were like, they won't say "I love you" like in Chinese, but they'll say it in English,
Oh, that's
because
funny.
it's just not. They don't
Yeah.
say that. Um,
Wow.
so I can understand where he might be coming from there, but he can just say that nicely. Like I don't in my culture say "I love you." I don't even know if that's true for his culture, but
I
it does
understand.
not an excuse to be an
No, it's
asshole.
not excuse because I do understand the culture. There he's not an affectionate, over loving, whatever. He's not that way. But if you want to be with this woman, she's saying what she needs. Say
Right,
it.
right.
Just say
Well,
it.
okay, I wanna circle back to that because it ends on that very note. And then in our next scene, they're in the apartment, and I think this is when he's, like, looking at his headshots or whatever, and
Oh
Devin
yeah.
comes out. Devin's like, "Fuck this shit," goes back in or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then, they decide to, get pedicures.
Yeah.
And and again, this is when Devon's like Devon comes off like she would be a really good counselor, actually.
Yeah. I'm very impressed with her. I'm
So,
impressed with Devin.
yeah, Yeah.
I
So,
think she's
gosh, so
kind.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind. She sees her mom.
Yeah.
She has a really good way of asking questions to her mom,
She's
not just
gentle.
saying what she thinks. Yeah, but
Yeah.
asking questions to get her mom to say the thing herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, gentle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where Debbie's like, I don't want to just throw 6 years away on a whim. Devin's like, it wouldn't be a whim because you're having all this mounting evidence from just a few months of you all being
Yeah.
together.
Uh-huh.
And that's where Debbie's like, well, it's coming little by little and we just need time. Devin's like, well, that's not something you have.
No, and to
And
break it down more,
yeah.
I'll make this really quick. 6 years together,
Hmm.
and if there was nothing like this going on in the 6 years, she sees that, wow, what a change. We don't know what he was
Yeah.
like in Egypt with her, but this can't be the first time he's acted like this towards her. Well, just when he was on the phone, "Oh, my father's sick. Remember that? My father's sick. I need more time. I need more time." Then he goes to the airport. "Oh, it's a surprise." So, you know, he didn't come across that nice right out of the gate. So this is this can't be new to her.
No, no, but also oftentimes, and I see this a lot because I deal with adolescents, right? So adolescents tend to see things like in black and white, all one way or all the other way.
Yeah.
If you read literature with students, it's hard for them to find the nuance because they haven't
Yeah.
had the life experience. Their minds work a certain way, you know. But adults do this too. And it's like, if you think, what would it be like if I broke up with this person that I had been dating for many years? And oftentimes, all you can think of is, I will miss them. I'll miss the connection, right? You don't think about, then, yes, I'll miss them. And also, I will feel relief.
Yeah.
you know? Or it's like, they'll just be like, I will only feel relief, but not also, I will miss them. So
Yeah.
if you were to ask Debbie, what would it be like to just suddenly give this up? I think it would be a lot of things and not just one
It
way or
would be
the
a lot of
other.
things. But um I've learned in therapy and in life, everyone we've all been in relationships and and the majority of them have ended for a lot of us. You were okay before that person and you're going to be okay afterwards.
Right,
Because you knew you were okay beforehand.
right. And I'll say this too. I think that that's so true. I think when you use the word ended, I think in some ways the relationship doesn't end. It just goes on in a different way. Even if you never speak to that person again, you still have a relationship
I don't
with
think,
them.
you ca I think relationships that end, it becomes part of your baggage. And I don't think you really ever put all of your baggage away. I think you carry it for
No,
the rest of your life.
but it doesn't have to be baggage. I
No,
even mean
no,
like a
baggage
deceased
is
person.
I know
Like
baggage a
you
lot of
still
people think
carry
baggage is a negative thing. I don't
it
see it as a
is.
negative thing. I don't.
After you carried my sister's trillions of bags of tea sets throughout
Yeah.
Asia.
Yeah, through 21 hours of flying. Oh, yeah.
um, no, I know what you mean. I mean, we need to, I guess, come up with a better term because baggage
Yeah.
does imply baggage, right? But
Yeah.
it's not just a reframing, but if you can deal with it skillfully,
Yeah.
then it becomes something better,
Yeah.
actually. Okay.
It
So
it
what's
be
interesting
it
about
becomes a
this
carry-on.
uh, nah, trying too hard.
I got you to smile, though.
So in this conversation, right, Debbie says that, you know, look, like she understands what her this is my paraphrasing. Like, I get what you're trying to do here, Devin, but I'm basically moving forward with this.
Yeah.
And I only want a couple of things from him. Okay. And it's very interesting, the things that she wants. She wants him to just say some things,
Yeah.
which aren't even actions. Well, I'll come back to that. One
Yeah.
is she wants a formal proposal
Uh-huh.
And 2, I just need him to say, "I love you."
Yeah.
Those 2 things. And, you know, you look at Devon's reaction through all of this, and you can
Yeah.
see how she, very, I guess, has the empathy for her mother.
Sure.
And it's like you could see Devon suffering through her mom's suffering.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
And but it is interesting that the things that Debbie wants are just these words. They're not even actions.
No.
I actually will challenge this whole thing, flip it on its head, okay, and say like actions are so much harder to do than the words because all he has to do is just be like, "I love you, and will you marry me?" Essentially, right? Um, and that is easy. It's so easy to throw those words out there,
Mhm.
you know? But if she were like, "Look, all I need is for him to be nice to me, to validate me,
Yeah.
to, you know, do these things," it is actually much harder. For example, everyone else wants more things than just words,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
you know
Oh, yeah.
like, "Katie, can you stop kissing people?"
Yeah.
Um, and,
Shay, can
who
you
else do
stop
we
flirting
have
with
here?
people?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
"Can you do these behaviors or abstain from these behaviors?" You know? But she's just like, "Can you just say these words?" She's not asking enough.
No, she's
Yeah,
actually asking for the bare minimum.
yeah, and that's what makes it sad.
It is sad. I'm very sad
That
for Debbie.
Yeah.
I am.
And at the same time, like Marissa, like, she's no dummy, she totally is aware. She's aware. I think she sees it for what it is,
Yeah.
and I think it's complex because I think look, if you are scamming someone, whatever, I don't know what that's like, but there
Yeah.
must also be some kind of connection.
See, I don't think he's scamming. I think
Okay.
if you're scamming, you aren't you nice? You're
I know.
trying to s you're trying to scam someone. You're trying to y y
Maybe he's bipolar.
yeah, there I absolutely think there's something off with Mito. I don't know what it
'Cause
is,
it
and I don't wanna judge,
Yeah,
but he's, like, super sullen, super angry, and
yeah,
it looks like he despises her
yeah.
at times. Despises.
Yet he was kissing her in, like, the pyramid when they first met, which means he's either very impulsive and, like,
Yeah,
has ups and downs,
yeah,
or he's scamming her.
yeah.
It's not normal behavior to kiss someone you're giving a tour to.
No,
It's assault,
not at
normally.
all.
Like,
What
you
if
don't do it's
you're
not
on a tour
weird.
and some random person that you just met
Yeah.
kisses you?
I
It's odd.
I've been on many tours, and
Me too. Me
I've
too.
this never happened.
No, I've never
Um,
been kissed. I've never been kissed
yeah,
on a tour. I'm so sad.
and now he, like, wants nothing to do with her physically.
No,
Okay,
no,
okay, yeah.
no.
Okay. So speaking of wants nothing to
Oh,
do with people, the opposite
God.
of that would be Katie and Josh.
All of a sudden, I'm depressed thinking of Mito and Debbie.
I know, I know.
Yeah, yeah, let's talk about something else, please. Get over my
Okay, so
depression.
Katie also goes to a park and she meets
Oh, I was
Ryan.
wildly mad when I saw who she's meeting at the park with. What the heck is she doing?
It said 75 days to wed. So they still
Yeah,
have, like,
they've
it's
only been
still
together
pretty
2
new.
weeks.
I can't do the math, but it seems like not very much time.
No.
So, you know, it's kind of interesting because you see their relationship and it seems kind of sweet actually, dare I say. Yeah.
Ryan and Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had a few revelations during this conversation. And it's
Revelation.
they're very obvious, okay? And it's like, 1, I think that I don't know exactly when the cast watches these episodes, but it's not
Right.
like they get final cut, right? So they're
No.
watching it some point later on, probably when we're watching it or shortly before. So it's like two things. Okay. One is it occurs to me that Josh is watching this conversation in which he wasn't present, right, for the first
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like Edward would have been watching the conversation that Marissa had with her mother, right, for
Uh-huh.
the first time.
Yep.
Normally, I am not privy to the private on private conversations that, for example, Mark might be having with his brother about me. How cool is it that they watch it?
Yeah, or the conversation you had with Jen about my sensitivity.
Which you're not sensitive to at all.
I gotcha.
Wow,
I
zinger.
gotcha.
Exactly. And that's how sensitive you are.
Yeah, and I make
And
no
so,
apologies for it.
but if you could watch that conversation back, how fascinating for you.
Is it fascinating in a good way or
Okay.
a bad way?
Right. Okay. Depends, I guess, on how sensitive you are. And then two, I thought, wow, for Catie, she would be watching back her own behavior at times that she had blacked out to and never has no memory of even.
No,
That's
no.
gotta be fascinating for her to see,
It would
because
be
she's always like,
scary.
"Josh."
Wouldn't it be
Yeah, like, "Josh,
scary?
Josh, what did I do last night? I don't remember."
Yeah, I don't
And
remember.
that's like a common occurrence, it seems, for her, but here she could actually see it. Yeah, so I thought that was
Scary.
fascinating. Anyway, stating the obvious. So, he starts out saying, like, he's he's the first person it seems that we see so far confronting her
Yes.
about, right, her alcohol
Yep.
use and what happens. And he says something like, drunk Catie does things that like sober Catie regrets.
Yeah.
And that's where the trauma comes in. I think what he means is like that's where the conflict is happening.
Uh-huh.
And then she's like, yeah, and it's a cycle because that's what causes me to like stress out. I just stress cyclically about it, with the OCD.
Yeah.
And
She does admit she's afraid that Josh is going to leave.
yeah, yeah.
And in turn, Ryan says, he keeps on trying, Catie, and
Mhm.
she's not taking really any steps to fix it. But she seemed terrified. I looked at her face. She looked scared. And I don't know if that's from whatever is ailing her or the real emotional toll this is taking that she's in this relationship with Josh. I don't know.
That's what's so hard to watch here and also
Yeah.
very compelling to watch.
Yeah.
It's like being in a therapy session with a person where you see them have their realization and kind of break down and yet also feel like a deal they're like a deer in headlights because they
Yeah.
don't know how to change it.
No.
And it's just like that confrontation of
She
fear,
looks like that
impending
to me.
doom
I
syndrome.
I
Yeah.
really do think I think she understands herself more than we all think, but I just think she just doesn't know how to move on. She doesn't know how to repair. She In my eyes, she's not getting the right care.
Yeah.
Um, I hope she does, but I don't think she is. I don't think she has any business talking with Ryan. She should be talking to Josh.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I
I mean,
think with Ryan, when we see them talking, they seem very similar.
they
He has
do.
like similar mannerisms or tics
Yeah.
or something like she has.
You would think they're
And
together.
but we like opposites, opposites
Yeah.
do attract,
Oh,
you know, but you
Cappy's
can,
corner. Opposites attract, but do they have the
hmm
staying power? Do they have
okay.
the staying power long term? I have theories. I will not bore you with them at this present time.
Well, I'm intrigued. I think you're onto something there.
Yeah.
And it goes kind of back to like what we were saying earlier about the thing like with Marissa and Edward. Everything goes back to like the first couple we talk
Oh,
about,
yeah.
right? Like Marissa and Edward in that like that thing that she liked about love with him. I'm assuming is the playfulness, and not that
Yeah.
he's only that. He clearly has a lot more depth than that, but
Yeah. He does.
that's that thing that is now annoying her or
Yeah.
that she's questioning about him.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the staying power that you're, referring to. It's like, yeah, this
Mhm.
person is a breath of fresh air and very different from me, but that also means that and with all of these couples, because of the cultures, right? All the more so.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
We shall see.
So, we shall see. There's not a lot in her segments here, but
No,
I
it
just think the
wasn't.
conversation, getting her point of view in a sober moment with a third party
It
was
was
quite
nice to see
interesting.
her in a sober moment. It was nice.
And he presses her. It's
He
very
does.
interesting.
He
Yeah,
presses her, and if you notice when Josh presses her,
mhm,
she doesn't really respond
right.
as well as she
It's hard to.
responds to
Yeah.
Ryan,
Uh,
which
it I mean,
uh,
he asked the
uh,
questions like, "If he stops forgiving you,"
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, "How would you feel?" And Katie's like, "It would break my heart." She says, "I do love him.
yeah, she does love him.
Should you be getting married with these feelings?" he asks. And she's like, "I don't think," and this is the 90-day visa thing, right? Like, ugh, it's frustrating to have this happening, this visa type. "I don't think we should get married realistically. But if
Yeah.
we want to start our life together, we have to get married."
I'm gonna tell
It's
you
just
something
true.
how I feel about Katie. I think
Ooh,
Katie
okay.
is much more intelligent than everyone gives her credit anyone says about her.
It's funny you say that. I'm so interested in like where she went to school, like high school and
Yeah.
stuff, and like
Yeah.
because I wonder what kind of education she had.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people see someone who gets drunk and they just think they're not intelligent or something. But
Right,
or
exactly.
even they see a woman who is, I don't know, quote unquote loose or something, and they think that
Right.
she's like not intelligent, and that's just bullshit.
No, I happen to
Yeah.
think I have a feeling Katie is very intelligent. I do.
But then then she says to the camera something different. She says, "It's a constant battle in my head."
Yeah.
And she doesn't go back to like the 90-day visa thing. We only have a certain time to like, should we
No.
get married so we can start our life together? She says, like, this battle being, I should settle down and be with the person I love, or I should just have fun and live my life to the fullest.
Yeah.
But I also want to be with Josh.
She's struggling.
One second, I just want to be with Josh. Yeah, struggling is a good word, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, why would I ever throw this away? And then the next, I'll be like, I'll see ourselves in a marriage where we are not happy and not
Yeah.
getting our needs met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Melissa, we're both
Yes.
you and I, we're both in long-term serious relationships, correct? And they're not easy. They're not easy at times. But w- what is what's on the other side of it? Obviously,
What do you mean?
without them,
Okay.
sadness, sadness. It would be very sad, and I think our lives are more enriched with our respective spouses in our
Yeah,
life.
but to be honest, I don't believe that there's only one person out there for each person in the world. That's ridiculous to me. I think that without the current person you're with, this is like the royal you. There are other people who could make you feel
Uh,
just the same or even better. But because you but there is a premium that you would put on, let me so you're looking at me. There's a premium that you might put on the fact of, like, if you're in a relationship and settled in a relationship, that your eyes not wandering or something, and that you feel safe and, like, you have this person to confide in and who's, like, your ride or die in life, regardless of whether or not there could potentially be a better person out there for you.
well, that is an age-old question. It's really not an age-old question. It's an age-old question, but a new societal question. Um, having options, right? Is there someone better out there for me? Um,
My answer is yes. There's probably someone better out there for you, but that's not the point.
r-
You can't
well,
go through every fucking person on earth to
right,
make that
because
decision.
that's
And at some
that's my
point, you
key.
gotta just
So you
yeah.
have to choose. You have to consciously choose that person every single day. That
Okay.
you know, I have this thing. There's 10 boxes in a. If you're in search of a relationship and you're out in the dating world, like these folks are in, there's 10 boxes. Well, if they check
Mm,
4 or 5 of them, and the other 4 or 5 you could accept that they're not going to provide for you, that's a
mhm,
win. If they're giving you 50% of the non-negotiables, like Debbie wants to for him to say I love you. Well, if he checks that box, that's a big box for her. If Edward does a few things like becomes a decent step parent, puts the garbage where she tells him to put it, that checks boxes for her.
right. But the difference there is that Edward is trying, he just didn't have the same understanding of what that task meant.
No, no, he
And,
doesn't.
like he said, his point of view is, "I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't."
Yeah, yeah.
And sorry, Midu is like, it seems to me, intentionally not giving her what she wants because he's wanting to
No,
assert some kind of control or power
no.
dynamic over that and control that
He's an
situation.
intense guy, isn't he?
These
He's
broody actors.
oh, yeah, yeah. Actors. Sorry, I am an actor, so, you're speaking to one.
It's like what we don't get in this Katie segment, we don't what's interesting about this is that Josh is removed from it. So we just have her with her friend. And Ryan also said something like, he makes a comment like the relationship isn't a problem anymore. Like their relationship, Ryan and Katie's relationship is no longer a problem.
Yeah,
And that her biggest concern for Katie is like whether or not she'll self-destruct in her happiness.
yeah.
So either he has no idea what a problem he is in their relationship, or it got resolved prior to this meeting.
Between Ryan and Katie?
That Josh has a problem with it. Like, I don't know. We don't get Josh's perspective
We
here.
don't. No,
Yeah.
we don't.
But I think I have more of an understanding of Josh, not from this episode, but just from like side conversation, like
Yeah,
DMing, right? Conversation. And I don't want to get into
yeah,
I don't know what's private, what's not private. If someone's putting their life on TV, maybe they don't consider a DM to me or something private, but I
yeah.
do. But I,
Yes,
I think my
me too.
understanding from his point of view, as it goes through my head and out into my analysis, okay,
Yeah,
is in the context of like all the other cast members, male cast members, right, on this program, this season. It seems like they have this sense of like their ownership over their spouses, of controlling who they can talk to or not talk to. Whereas Josh is more like my partner has autonomy over herself, over her body, and if she wants to do something stupid about it, that's on her. You
yeah,
know, of course, what she's doing with her body is, I think, infringing on his like non-negotiables, right? As you would
yeah.
put it. And that
Uh-huh.
is interfering with his needs, right? So I think that's where the rub is and why it is compelling. But I find him so much more compelling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure out of his 10 boxes, making out with random people is not
He
on his
he doesn't want it. He
no,
says he doesn't want it. Yeah,
no.
he's very clear. But at the same time, he's like, she has autonomy over her body. I think it's
Yes.
my words, but like that I think that's his sentiment.
And I respect that fully, and people do have autonomy over their own bodies. It's it's the level of acceptance if you wanna be in a relationship with that person,
Right.
if that makes
Right.
sense.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
So I think how this may go is I don't know how much she may change, but he might have to make the hard decision if that's gonna be acceptable to him, that he's gonna have to deal with that, or he's gonna have to walk away. That's how
They
I feel.
yeah. I mean, look, they always get married. Very
Yeah,
rare do they not, right?
yeah.
But
I'm
I
gonna
always say
call you out on
this.
this one. I don't think they all
Okay.
I don't think all I think there's gonna be one couple out of this group that's not gonna get married.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay.
I have
Cool. Do
thoughts.
you do
I
you
have
wanna say
thoughts.
who? Who?
Um, I think Mallory and Rosh are not gonna get married.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Which
Doesn't
will
look like
which
that
w
after this episode.
yeah, which
You know
we will get into, yeah. And I'll
you
tell
know what's really
but it's not the
yeah.
obvious reasons why. It's not the
Okay.
obvious reasons why.
Okay. Interesting. I look at it like almost like it's a text, like I'm analyzing a play or something.
Yeah.
Like the four corners of the page that I don't want to get too much what happens outside, but based on what we're seeing here, I find that very interesting. We should move on.
Yep.
So I do want to get to Thomas and Paula because again, I have a new perspective on them. And Thomas had a
So do
really
I.
I like Thomas now. And I like
I like
Rini,
both
right?
of them. I think they're really cute
Yeah.
together, aren't they?
Yeah. The power of how it's cut. Like I say, like when I look at the four corners of the page, how
Yeah.
TLC puts it together as if it were a play.
Yeah.
They're throwing him a bone here, giving him a better showing maybe. Um, but it starts out and she's showing him that she has a tiny gift to give to the family,
Yeah,
to
which I
his
thought was
family.
so sweet.
It's so sweet. And
So
he's like, I have a
sweet.
she yeah. And he even says, like, it's very beautiful, instead of putting her down for her tiny
Yeah, because
things,
remember in
he's
the
respecting
past,
it.
he was making
Yeah.
fun of all the little miniatures. Not this one.
No dick no dick respecting here,
No.
right? And it just shows how much better we can perceive him because of that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And then they go out of the trailer and, the dad is there and stepmom Rini is there and they're have the camping like tables set up and
Yeah.
it's like they're camping on their lawn. It's
Yeah.
cute in their farm.
It's cute.
And they made her vegan burgers, which is
Yeah.
very respectful. Um, and it's sweet. It's very sweet. And we learn about her family. She has a dad, a mom, a brother, sister,
Yeah.
and we will learn about his family as well.
Yeah.
And Thomas says, that she brought she's been buying tiny people to manifest her family coming to the
Yeah.
wedding.
Yeah.
And he says it's so adorable. He puts his arm around her, and instead of putting her down, right? And because no one wants to be put down for their things that they're
No.
into,
No,
right?
not at all.
And then this is a good segue for her to go into the manifestation, her gift, which is a small manifestation.
Yeah.
I actually really like this. I am now oddly a a believer in the not that it's gonna be a manifestation, but just this interaction
Yeah.
was so cool to me because you can want something or you can get a small version of that and give it to another person as a gift.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. Let's try it. Let's do homework. Let's try it.
Well, you gave me a little toilet, so
Oh, that's right.
I'm
I
manifesting
did.
a nice bidet. I've been telling Jen, "I want a bidet. I want a bidet."
Well, the little toilet I gave you was a gag because when you open it up to see the poop, it
Oh,
squirted on you.
it squirts at you, yes.
Hey, you want a bidet, asshole? There you go.
There you go.
Clean your
You
asshole.
want a clean butt, you better get it. And not a $25
Manifest
one
it.
not a $25 one at Home Depot. Screw that.
So this suitcase manifestation is an invitation to their wedding. And Reenie's great. Reenie says, "I love little things too."
Yeah.
No no
Yeah.
wonder Thomas was like, "Fuck these little things," because
I
Reenie
know. Renee likes them.
she loved it. It was adorable. She opens it up. I love the little pig, and she
Yeah, the
asks
little
about the
pig.
wedding.
Yeah.
It was very sweet.
And you almost see Thomas and Paula becoming a team here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
Yeah,
quite
it's beautiful.
it was quite enchanting, yes.
It's like the only time outside of spidering, like, we can really and it was really nice, and, oh gosh, dad's like, "Who's coming?" And so,
Ah, here it
Thomas
comes.
is like, some people from California, some people from high school, and so and so, and, mom and stepdad.
Yep,
And if they make that trip, it'll be impressive." And then to the camera, dad says, he explains that, Thomas was 9 and the sister was 6 when
yeah,
the divorce happened. And it was unusual and very uncommon at the time for the father to have custody of the children. And it
yep,
was very difficult.
very
And it was
difficult.
also very difficult for the kids. And they had to be strong. And what we realize is that whatever was happening with the mom was major and really affected the kids, and as a father, not only did he have the responsibility, okay, fine, but it was like he saw again, I'll use the word suffering. He saw his kids suffer.
Yeah,
Whether he forgives that or doesn't forgive it, he makes it clear later on that he will never speak to that woman again.
no.
And we don't know what happened there, but that's where he's at. And it's very interesting. And I'll give a little play by play and then we can chat, but it's like
Yeah,
he
because I have some
says,
things to say about this.
I know you do. I know. It's fascinating, right?
It is.
Um, like, of course, like Paul was like, "Do you think you can make it?" And Dad's like, "Oh, we'll do our best."
Yeah,
Reenie's like, "Well, I don't know. The
the
farmhand can come and feed the
farmhand,
pigs
yeah.
and yada da, the dogs, the gotta shovel some shit."
I
And
know.
then Thomas says it was actually really nice what he said. I wonder if him and Paula practiced this because he was like
They
he
must
wasn't
have.
whining and crying, but he was
No.
like, "I would like to see the full family make it,
Yeah,
including you, Reenie,
yeah. Mhm.
and okay, I'll see what I can do," she says, but Paula is shocked, and it's like she can't understand this family. And again, it's like her family operates in one way, and this family operates in a different way because of its past. And and we really get that again when the dad says to to us, to the camera, Poland really wants to have the entire family there,
Yeah,
but Thomas's real family is me and a Torini, and Paula believes she knows how things should work,
yeah.
but Thomas's biological mother and I will never speak to each other again.
No.
And look, my takeaway, and I want to hear your takeaway,
Yeah,
but it's like it's quite complicated when you are, and you're integrating into my family, right? And
yeah,
I think, like when met members of Mark's family, like there's a history there, and even other relationships I've been in the past, it's like I think this family should operate in a different way because I have this mom who is fucking fantastic,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
And this
yeah.
dad, right? And I think that all moms and stepmoms should react in a certain way, and they don't.
They don't.
And it's weird to see. And also, you get protective of your spouse that you're with because you want to see their mom or their dad behaving in a better way than you think they're behaving toward them
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. What's your take?
Well, my take is I'm not really thinking about the adults. I'm thinking about the kids. Now,
Right.
obviously Thomas is he's a grown man. Um, you know, all
And
I could
he's
say is
young. He's a
he's
grown man, but
young.
he's basically 30,
He's young.
right?
He's young, but I have personal experience with this. Jen
Yeah.
has personal experience with this. We're both divorced people, and there's been times when I'm in the same room with Steven's mom, quite often, with my sons with grandchildren, and, there you have to get in your mind, you have to put your differences aside for the sake of the kids, for the sake of grandchildren. Um, Jen's daughter is gonna graduate college at some point. I'm gonna be in the same room with her dad. I'll be more than respectful, um, no matter what kinda history has been there, because what does it serve to be angry towards an ex-spouse? What it serves, it serves a disservice to be angry or not behave properly. It hurts all involved, especially the children. And
I think
and it's
I
traumatic
agree.
for a child to go through a divorce, excuse me. Uh, so you don't want that trauma to be even extended in any way.
Right. I agree. I think at first it was posited to us like it was Reenie's had a problem with it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
It seems now different, like the
It's
dad.
the dad.
Yeah.
You could see
Look,
he harbors a lot of resentment still.
he does, but what we learned too is, 25 or whatever years ago, for him to get full custody, something happened there. The mom
Yeah,
resented something, right?
obviously,
Something
we don't know the
happened.
whole story. We don't
Right.
know. We don't
It's not
know.
it's not a typical situation. That's
But
something happened there.
let me paint the picture and ask you a question. They all
I'm
go
not
to
excusing his behavior,
right.
but I'm saying what I'm learning is that it's far deeper than that, and also that speaks to why Thomas is also kind of the way he is.
Yeah,
Um,
but
yeah.
my question to you is they get married at the Queen Elizabeth.
Mhm.
The biological mother is
It's a big
there.
ship.
It's
It's a big
huge.
ship.
It's a huge
They don't
ship.
have to be at the same table.
No. Um, and the biological mother is there, but the dad is not there. What does that say to Thomas? What does it say to Paula? What does it say to them? It's gonna affect them. It's not gonna affect the
Right,
parents. It's
right,
not. So the father, if the father has so much of a trouble, he's gonna see her for, 4 or 5 hours during a wedding reception and say bye-bye, and that's it.
right. He doesn't even have to talk to her.
He doesn't even have to
But
look at her, no.
the dad, again, is suffering. He's suffering. I mean, I
He's
don't know
suffering.
what happened, but he's not
No,
over that.
no. And it's
And,
really
you know
sad because it's decades ago.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it is sad.
it's
Look,
sad.
I don't know, in my family, these Italian aunts of mine who didn't talk to each other for decades and
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
even remember why they weren't talking to
I
each
know.
other. It's crazy.
It's
And then you
crazy.
learn you have cousins you never knew you had.
Yeah, I
Um,
know.
it's, like, so funny. But, yeah, I mean, look, this dad is like it's their wedding,
His
and you
whole
guys are
demeanor
making the
changed
commitment.
when
Yeah,
his whole demeanor
yeah,
changed when
yeah.
he found out the
He's
biological
got
mother is
trauma.
going. He's got
Yeah.
trauma. It looks like
He's
he's
like,
got more
"Why?"
trauma than Thomas.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. All right. It reads as Dick Respect.
Yeah. Dick respect.
Mhm.
It
So
is
let's
dick
get to the Trash
respect.
Pandas. Speaking of Dick Respect.
The Trash Pandas, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I did a little dive into the Trash Pandas because I'm like,
Oh,
"Who the
good.
hell is the Trash Pandas?" So I had to look it up, and I found out what team they belong to.
Oh, what team do they belong to? And
Oh, you didn't look it
how
up,
triple
huh?
A are they? I
Well,
didn't. I knew you would.
oh, so, 'cause I'm one of your best students, correct?
You're a good researcher.
I'm a good researcher. The
You can
Trash
use the Google.
Pandas are a double A team for the Los Angeles Angels,
Oh, okay.
which I thought was very interesting because when I
Mhm.
said Trash Pandas and then I looked Trash Pandas, pandas is actually Trash Panda is actually an endearing term for pandas.
Oh, I thought it was an endearing term for raccoons.
Raccoons, I'm sorry. Well, it did say pandas and raccoons.
Pandas don't need an endearing term. The
Well
endearing term for panda is panda.
well, aren't they can be vicious at times, can't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why, like, in Chengdu, when they have the panda, like, sanctuary, they're kept alone mostly
Yeah.
because they don't get along. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
blow your mind on Mallory and Rosh. Rosh needs to, read the book Getting Unstuck.
Oh, you are blowing my mind. You took
Uh-huh.
my recommendation with Pemba
I did.
Children. You
Yes.
listened to the book.
I listened to the book, and what is it called? Shempo?
Shenpa.
Shempa.
Shenpa.
Um, there's a lot of things that I identify in that book. Shempa is something that basically triggers you,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
I didn't know those words, but I identified it, and I see in myself my Shempa and how I
Okay.
deal with it. So it was so
Yeah.
I thank you, my sister.
Oh, you're so welcome. The
It's been
gift of
great. It's been a
Pemba
great
Children.
listen.
Yeah, that's this Pemba Children book called Getting Unstuck. And part of it is for those who haven't read it. I know my mom is listening and she has.
Yeah,
It's essentially, yeah, that thing that triggers you, right? That thing that you plug into. And all of these folks do have their own Shenpa, don't they?
and that's why I'm working on my sensitivity.
Yeah. And Brandy is the biggest Shenpa of all. He's really a trigger for our Rashid, isn't he?
Whoa, is he ever? Wow.
All right, so I'm going to just jump to the juicy stuff since folks have been listening to us for like an hour and a half already. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening. Our
Yeah,
listeners are
thank you
wonderful.
so much. You are loyal listeners, the best.
Every week, it just shocks me. We get more listeners, and I'm like, how do you find us?
I know.
Thank you for listening.
Thank
I love
you.
it. Yes. So, and let us know what your Shenpa is actually, because I find that to be really interesting, like these little triggers that everyone has.
Yeah,
And yeah. Okay, so he throws out the first pitch. They go to a minor league baseball game,
yeah.
and Michaela's awesome and gets it, hooks
Awesome.
them up so that, she's really, as a friend, like she is really helping. Shout out to her. She's really trying to make his experience there good, and she enables him to throw out the first pitch of the game,
Which is even at
which
a double A game, a minor league game, that's a pretty big honor.
it is. But then we see there's like six people there.
Yeah, I know.
But still, Michaela made it happen. And then later on, it's really funny because, like, all of a sudden, like, six more people come and they sit right behind
Right
our
behind
crew
them.
of
I
people.
know.
It's hilarious.
Uh,
So, I don't know. I thought he did well, not having practiced, right? He had a little
yeah,
sidearm through
little
that
sidearm.
first.
Never threw a
Oh, here.
baseball in his life.
Yeah. And here again with the subtitle, they say peach, Peach instead of pitch, which I think
Yeah,
again is like
peach,
they
which
troll
I thought
him.
was
They're
kinda funny.
trolling him. Yeah.
I peach.
He he did. He did well. Brandy didn't think so. He said, "My grandmother can throw better than that," but
Oh
okay.
god, yeah.
Maybe his grandma was, on a league of their own or something. And then the national anthem is about to start,
Oh
and
boy,
Mallory,
here it
I
comes.
rewound this because it was weird, like,
It was weird.
she looks, like, unsure that she should stand up or
Yeah,
not, right?
I thought the
And
same thing.
then Brandy says, "Stand up," and her
Stand
and
up,
Rashid shoot up. He's like, "Take your hat off."
take your hat off. Yeah, and
Okay.
obviously he doesn't
So
know what's going on because it's the first time he's ever done it.
right, right.
Yeah,
I mean, look, it's really interesting is that at the international school where I work, when we have assemblies, they do the national anthem, the Malaysian national anthem.
okay.
And there's only about 30% Malaysians in the
Wow,
room, you know, and everyone stands up and respects it because that's what you do.
as they should.
Um,
Well, because 'cause they're in Malaysia.
right. And
Yeah.
just, if you're at the Olympics and they're playing someone else's national anthem, I think
Yeah,
you should
like if you
respect
go to a
that.
hockey
Yeah.
game in New York and a Canadian team is playing, they play both anthems.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but they're not going to play the anthem of all of the people sitting there.
No. Oh my god, it would go on for about 37 hours.
So, Michaela and Mallory, they go and get up to get some more bats of beer. And
That's a beer.
Rashid's like, "Oh, how do you play this game?" And Brandy starts to answer, and
Yeah.
Rashid's like, "No, I want to listen to." There's another friend there, which I guess is
Yeah.
the husband of Michaela,
Yeah.
Rain, and I want to listen to Rain.
Yeah.
And Brandon's like, "All right, well, fuck this, you know, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go take a piss.
Yeah.
I'm trying here. I'm
I'm
trying."
trying. He was trying. I'll
He's trying.
give him a little credit. He was trying.
He's trying.
Yeah.
And Rain starts to, tries, he tells it in a very nice way. Like, look, this is my best friend. He's
Yeah.
a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And I know he's got a history with Mallory, but he doesn't have bad intentions with your wife. Give him some time and he'll prove it. That's like really nice.
Yeah.
And Rashid's like, oh, I don't care, good or bad. I don't want to be friends with this
I
guy.
don't wanna be friends with him. End of
In my
story.
culture,
He's not
in my
budging.
culture,
He's
I
n
don't have to do this.
and
I'm
I
sorry.
don't think Rosh is ever going. I that's why I don't think they're gonna wind up together. I don't think Rosh is gonna bend on that.
Um,
I don't.
I I think it will be such from a characterization point of view. I know these are real people and not characters, but in
Yeah.
my mind,
Yeah.
they're literature. Um, how compelling will it be if he could bend on this?
Wow.
And not bend, I mean just
You
actually
mean
genuinely
compromise to
start
the fact where he becomes accepting of Brandon being in his life.
yeah. And
I
then speaking of which, Brandon comes back and he's like, "Excuse me, fuckballs,"
he
as
calls
he passes
he
him.
call shit fuck balls or shit balls. I don't know what he
Oh shit,
said.
but I don't know. It was
And
beeped out, right?
he
Yeah.
kinda like kicks him or something as he's walking by him. Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of egging him on. Yeah.
And then well, he's pissed, and then the girls come back with their bats of beer, and Mallory's like, "Come on, you're really putting everyone in a really difficult position."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't care." And I
I don't
feel bad
care.
for Michaela here because
So do
Michaela,
I.
yeah, right?
She went
She's
out
just
of her way to
trying.
put this all together.
Yeah. And she's done so many things for them, like making the party, showing up at the
Yeah.
airport with the
Uh-huh.
America Mobile.
So yeah.
And so
It
Mallory's like, "Okay, so then you don't care about me."
yeah.
Yeah. And then Brandon reaches over again to make an attempt to like smooth it over.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought we had an agreement we would respect each other. And, Rashid's like, yeah, but you didn't stop contacting her. And then
Yeah,
Brandon's like, that's
delete.
not how this shit works.
Yeah.
It's not a choice you have.
Yeah.
Not well put,
It's not
but
well put, but I did kinda side on Brandon a little bit here. He
yeah,
tried.
of course.
He tried. I
Rashid
thought
is
he
being
tried
an asshole.
hard, Huh?
Rashid, it's a good thing he cleans his asshole because he's kind of acting like an asshole.
Thank God he's
Uh,
got a clean butt because acted like a big butt.
no, I understand in his culture, in his mind, he cannot and will not be friends with this
He's
person.
not in Turkey anymore. You have to compromise if you're coming from a different country. Maybe it's easy for me to say I'm in America.
I don't agree with you. Just because you're coming from another country doesn't mean you have to compromise on what might be for you a non-negotiable.
I
You
understand that,
just from your
but
culture don't see this.
okay, so let
I,
me
I, I don't agree. Hang on. I don't agree
yeah,
with him, but I'm not
right.
not for the reason that he should assimilate on this issue
But but
because he's in America.
but my
That's not the
question is,
reason.
Mallory is asking him, "Please accept Brandy," as Raj
But he
puts it.
still has a non-negotiable. I
He has
don't
a
agree with it
non-negotiable.
at all. Like, I think
Me
he's
either.
being,
Me either. Yeah.
and but I think that just because you come to another country, for example, if I marry someone in a Muslim country and they say, not even in a Muslim country, but if I marry someone who says, like, in my culture, like, women should be, subservient or women
Right.
should not be friends with men or something. Just because I'm in their culture, that doesn't mean that I have to do the thing. Maybe
Yeah.
that's not the right relationship for me,
Right.
but I have certain non-negotiables. And
Yeah.
what happens is he has a non-negotiable and she has a non-negotiable,
Uh-huh.
and they are they're diametrically opposed, right? These two things. For her,
Yeah. I
she's being
think it's
friends with
yeah.
Brandon,
I
non-negotiable. For him, that friendship is a non-negotiable. It should dissolve.
I'm not
And
a
so
betting
that's the
man, but I'm gonna
problem.
bet you $3 this is going to break them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I look forward to I'm gonna get a nice roti with your $3.
A nice dosa.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a dosa and a and a soda.
And remember when, Rosh says that this is the point of litigation, I'm like, "What the hell does that mean?"
Wait, say that again?
He at one point, he's like, "You know, I'm at a point of litigation." He was angry at Brandon.
Oh,
He
I
said
missed that. I wonder if
he
that's what
said
he
he
meant.
said a lot of things that I didn't understand in this particular episode.
And the subtitles don't clear him up because 'cause they're trolling him.
No, no. And, when you go to a baseball game, the beautiful grass, it's a nice day out, you're throwing out the first pitch. I mean, it's so beautiful and,
Again, the great outdoors.
the great outdoors.
Yeah, that's my yeah,
It was a
everyone's
beautiful
outside.
day.
And, yeah, I agree, I love baseball, and I'm not an indoor sport kinda person, I like the outdoor sports.
I understand Rash's stance, but he is not in Turkey anymore. And
I
he
disagree. So hang on. I think, and I'm gonna cut you off because again, and you're entitled to your opinion, and I
I
keep
know,
cutting you off here, but
but you
I
wanna
I
be
I
with this
don't
woman.
agree with him. No, I don't agree with him, but I don't think that he should change things because he's not in Turkey anymore. I think he
So
should change things because the woman he's with
yeah.
is asking him
Well,
to
that's
at
that's what
least
I
be
mean.
neutral to this person.
I'm
But this
just
idea that because you come to America, you have to like drop your culture,
no, I'm not
I
saying
don't
that.
agree.
Maybe I'm just adding that he's not in Turkey anymore, but he should compromise for Mallory's sake. If he wants to be with this woman, uh, he should do something. He should compromise a little. I mean, I have questions why she's still great friends with Brandon, but that's not for me to judge.
Look, when you're young, even now, but especially when you're younger, I think I've had friend groups where people have dated and they're not dated anymore and we're still friends,
Yeah,
especially when you're younger. Like
yeah,
they're a very tight group of friends. They go to ball games together and and it's like they want to be friends with him, with Rashid. They're trying to bring him
yeah.
into their circle. They really are trying.
They
Like, I
are.
give them, more than we see other people, like, in the show
They're
doing
really
that.
trying.
So what, they slept together a little bit. I don't know, like, the total details there,
Yeah,
but,
we don't
like,
know what
who
happened.
who gives a shit? Even if they
Exactly.
had a big relationship, like,
Yeah,
they're clearly just friends now. It's
they are.
like
Yeah,
yeah.
and it does appear that Brandon he really doesn't have any ill intentions to try to get back with Mallory. To me, it doesn't seem like that.
Doesn't seem like that at all,
He's just one of
but
the buddies hanging out, drinking a beer out of a bat.
yeah. Yeah.
And then he
Just drink a
throws the
beer out of a bat.
popcorn. He throws
Oh,
the
that's
popcorn at
hilarious.
Raj, and
I
then
love
Raj
that.
is eating the popcorn. I found hysterical, and Mallory's like, "Are you eating the popcorn that Brandon threw at you?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
Trash Pandas.
Trash can popcorn."
That was so funny.
It was hysterical.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Speaking of trash can popcorn, Shay and Annabelle,
Well, can I open this?
please, because you know what? Oh my gosh.
Oh my
I
god.
need a sweat towel.
I went through 3 of them. First of all, 2 things. I still don't understand what the attraction is. And I
Right.
know it sounds very judgmental, but all of these women, they're young, attractive women. What are they doing? What are they doing?
You know, ugh. we're watching. I have two things to say here. One is we're watching it, and Mark was like, he had this epiphany. He's like, "Is is he giving them money? Like, what is he giving them? Why are they like into him?"
Y-
And then I'm like, "Yeah, he's giving them something, I guess."
I have this theory that charisma and charm get you in the door, but it really takes substance to stay in the room. And Shea is flirty and all that stuff, and he's got a lake house, lake trailer and a regular trailer. They're not, standalone homes. So maybe that's what they're attracted to. I don't know. I really don't know. But the second thing I wanted to say was that he called her Annabelle his Philly peanut, which
Yeah.
I thought was hysterical.
She looked at him like she slapped him with her eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, a lot of people will look at Asian women and say these kinds of things,
Yeah, I know.
and
Yeah.
that's really cruel. And so it starts out, she's pissed. She
Yep.
says, "You're rude. Leave
Yep.
me alone. You're drunk already."
Yep. How many
And
beers
then
have
it's
you had? Oh, 7 or 8. No, you had like 20.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he had a lot because that guy looks like
He was
he
smashed.
can drink.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
smashed. And Allison's meandering around. She's got a shit ass grin on on her face, doesn't
She
she?
she's enjoying every moment of
Oh,
this.
she's
She knew this
loving
would
it.
happen, and she's loving it.
She's
Yeah,
loving it.
yeah.
She's gonna get her
And
daddy
then
back.
and that young pretty lady, Haley, says to
Yeah.
Allison, like, "I didn't know you had a wife this whole time."
Yeah.
And Haley's like, saying, "Oh, he says to me, 'I'll buy you your own island. You're so
Yeah.
beautiful.' He's asked me to stay the night at his lake house, and I didn't even know he had a wife this whole time."
Yeah.
And then he's dancing with this other woman, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw up. I'm so dizzy."
Yeah.
And so she wants to go to bed.
Yeah.
He walks in with her, and he's
Yeah.
like, "This is kind of embarrassing for me, babe."
Yeah. You're embarrassing me. Uh-huh. They're
And
here for you. They're
obviously,
not here for her. Well,
what
they're here
about
for
her?
both of them.
She's embarrassed as fuck.
Yeah,
Like, what about her?
I would be mortified, wouldn't you?
Again, it's a cultural I'm not saying it's cultural in the sense in this country, that country kind of
Yeah,
cultural. I mean cultural in
Paducah.
friend groups or yeah, like where, and in his friend group, the cultural thing to do is to get drunk and engage in this behavior. And Allison says, like, this isn't even like,
It's not that
this is
big of a
tame for
party.
Shea baby.
Yeah.
She goes, this is tame for Shane baby, for
Yeah,
sure. This is
Shea Baby.
tame Shea baby. And if she doesn't like it, she can go home. Go back to your family.
Go back to your
Okay.
family. Uh-huh.
But, like, this is another example of, like, in this friend group, this is what they do,
Yeah.
and for her, this is not what she does, like, this is not what she
So
wants to do with her
so,
life, and this is not the
yeah,
man
a couple
behavior she wants in her strong
a
man.
couple of things. She has laid out that, "I don't like you getting so drunk. I don't like you flirting." Dial it down a notch, Shay. You wanna marry
Yeah,
this woman? Come
yeah,
on. Come on.
yeah, and he's 55 now.
But that's the new 35, according to him.
But even at 35, like, it gets old after a while, doesn't it?
It does, come on. And they're funneling you're 55 years old and you're, funneling beers and you're drinking
I
20
know.
beers in a night. I mean, oh my goodness, he's asking for an early grave there, to
Yeah,
me.
well, I've seen him on social media, and I don't really
Yeah.
listen to a lot of it, but it looks like he looks better. He looks
He
slimmer.
does look better. I thought the same thing yesterday I saw him, and it seems like he's pretty successful as a real estate guy. I see
Okay.
a lot of the real estate ads that he posts. So
I'd
I'm
say
yeah,
I'd say either she has successfully gotten him to lose weight, and be healthy, and maybe he's not drinking,
yeah,
or maybe he's taking some kind of like weight loss,
could be.
Ozempic or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my mind, in America, everyone's taking Ozempic, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
um,
I agree. A lot of people are using Ozempic. I don't
so I don't know. I haven't been in America since that drug has come out on the mass market, so I have No idea, but I hear about it a lot.
Yeah, I don't understand. I have a couple of takeaways. I don't know how Annabelle is gonna put up with that, even though I think she's got a lot of patience with him, and she's very forgiving, um, most of the time,
Mhm.
and, but I don't know how he's gonna weasel his way out of this one with this party. I don't know. He's probably just gonna say, "Well, it was my birthday. It only happens once a year. I'm sorry, and you embarrassed me." But he's very manipulative. He's very
Yeah.
manipulative. You're embarrassing me. She wants to go to bed. She's not happy. Leave her alone.
Well, I think, and again, like in his quote unquote culture, he's not doing anything wrong. He's actually on his best behavior because Allison said, "This is tame, Shea baby." So
Yeah.
he's probably thinking, "I'm toning it down for her, and she's embarrassing me by not having fun with us."
Yeah.
Which is like the kind of take you would have like in relationships in your 20s when one person is still partying, but the other person is transitioning into like a different lifestyle.
Yep.
But usually we don't see it so much in this age.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Um,
And what's troubling is that this is tame.
that's very troubling. When she said this is what did she say? Tame, whatever it was.
Tame Shay baby.
Tame Shay, baby.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Say that drunk.
What's a hardcore party?
Right. Right.
You drink 40 beers?
Yeah.
And
And
you know,
he's dancing with a woman who's like, "I'm gonna throw up right now." It's like, oh
yeah,
god.
but he goes in and he says, "You're embarrassing me. Come back out. Come back out."
Bro,
I didn't like his behavior, but that's not for me. I'm not marrying the guy.
so speaking of decisions and doubts, let's go to Aisha and Maxwell in Lagos. This was so compelling to me, and I really found the sister's character, Blaze, so compelling
Oh,
because it's
whoa.
like, on the one hand, what she's saying is a woman should be submissive to the man in our
Yeah.
culture, and yet she has the most fucking stuff to say.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Isn't that so funny?
It's so funny. I thought that was such a I don't wanna say a contradiction because I don't wanna contradict make I don't wanna
But it
tell
is. It's
but it
like
is.
yeah.
She's like,
So funny.
I'm not in support of this." Like she's the judge and jury and
Yeah,
executioner.
yeah.
Yeah, this is not going to
So
happen.
what happens is Juliet, the mom, who is hilarious, she spills the beans, I guess, inadvertently didn't
Yeah,
realize that she wasn't supposed to say
right.
the age of her daughter, Aisha.
Yeah,
And so this is how Maxwell's mom and sister Blaze find out, or just the mom, I should say at first, I guess, finds out. And then the mom later on tells Blaze that Aisha's 38. This is a problem. So
yeah,
when Aisha and Maxwell come back from their um, little mini date that they have on their own, they
yeah,
come back and they say, "Okay, we made a decision and we decided that we're going to go the route of the spousal visa and
yeah.
get married here." And then, it's like, it's actually really, really, really interesting
It is.
because Juliet looks really excited, turns to Maxwell's family, and they look like they're at a funeral
I
receiving
know.
line, the way they're
Yeah.
sitting.
Uh-huh.
And Juliet says, "Oh, mom, you're disappointed." And
Yeah,
the mom says, "Well, I'm surprised." And
yeah.
Blaze says, "Actually, I'm bothered."
I'm bothered, and I'm bothered because she says, "I'm bothered because of our wife to be. Our wife to
Yeah,
be."
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
What the heck?" I mean, I understand it's a whole different culture there.
Yeah,
I understand. But our wife to be? You're not marrying Aisha.
yeah. Mhm. And it's so funny because Blaze is like, she says, like, "I like Aisha, I like Aisha's character and personality, but this age thing is a problem."
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Aisha looks at her and I'm like, Aisha looks at her like, I see you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I see that you're lying about this. You like my character, and I'm going to use this against you at some point in time, but I see
Yeah.
you.
Uh-huh.
Or, or like the terms of the game kind of changed here. And then Maxwell says, and it always goes back to this. He's like, who sets the rules of marriage?
Yeah.
Blaze says, it's God. Can't
It's
argue with
God.
God, right?
Yeah.
So Asia looks very, very pleased, right? And yeah, it is kind of interesting here because Blaze is like, look, 98% of married couples, their husbands are way older than their wives
Yeah.
here. Because we feel that it would be hard for you to submit to your husband otherwise. And then something about when you're running errands around town and you go to the market, you have to remember that
Yeah.
you're younger than your husband or something.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay. And Aisha's like, okay. And here she says it, Blaze. You say you like me as a person, so don't judge me off of statistics.
Yes.
Why have stats when you have God, right?
Exactly.
Judge me based on me.
On me.
Okay. So then Blaze is like, yeah, I can't accept the age difference.
No.
And Aisha's like, I can be 100 years older than Maxwell, but one thing's for sure, I'm walking down that aisle and there's nothing anybody can do about this
No.
union because the union is God ordained, period.
Yeah, and then she referenced someone in the Bible. Oh, so and so was
Sarah.
Sarah was 93 years old when she had her first child.
Yeah, she was
Remember?
like 90 or so. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
something.
she had Isaac, she was 90, and Abraham was like 100.
Yeah.
And what's really funny is like really like that's the kind of thing that does
That
I
started
guess
the little breakthrough for
yes.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's all right for Sarah and Abraham, okay, we'll possibly accept that.
The reasoning is hilarious, right? Because it's
It's
like Aisha's
hilarious.
like, oh, when they're like, okay, so when are you gonna have kids then? Because, menopause, women's ages. And then
Yeah.
Aisha's like, look, like it'll be like after a year after we marry, something like that. And I always think it's really funny because this conversation kind of comes up a lot with these couples. And it's like, yeah, it's going to be like a year anyway because babies aren't created and they don't come out in 2 days time, right?
No.
So it's like Blaze can't accept this. And it's just like, well, who created time? Blaze is like, well, of course it's God.
It's
I love the
God.
reasoning here.
Everything is
Well,
God, in God's
just
time.
right, exactly. But she says in the same breath, like, we gotta trust in God's timing. And then in the States, we can do a lot of things like freeze eggs.
Yeah.
It's like
We
man's
could
action
freeze
and God's
eggs, yeah.
timing.
We could freeze
Yeah.
eggs. That must have went over well with Blaze. But I have a question for you.
But also like that idea that God has the control. But
Yeah.
then she's like, also we have the control because we
Yes.
can do all these
I
things.
do find Aisha has some contradictions in her in her
Yeah.
persona. She does.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
one side of her mouth, she's saying God's in charge, but the other side is, well, we'll freeze eggs. We'll see what happens. She waffles a little bit.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So it's funny in the same breath she says that, right?
Mhm.
And then later, and then Maxwell, it's really, really interesting. Maxwell's like
This is what I
trying to
wanted to ask
refute.
you about a big statement that Maxwell actually kind of
Yeah,
said
I know. I totally know about the partnerships, right?
about submitting to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
About
So
submitting
what
to each
happens
other.
is, right. So what happens to get there is that, where is it? So, okay. So then she's like, Blaze is like, all right, well, what I just and now it's like back to your character. Then Blaze, again, these people are not skilled are like in this the skill of argumentation.
No,
And Blaze
no.
goes back to like the character trait and says, I think you're gonna mistreat Maxwell. Okay,
Yeah.
you just said that you liked your character. Okay. And then Juliet pipes in and says, look, he's a grown man.
Yeah.
Maxwell, you're gonna
Yeah.
let her mistreat you? Maxwell's
Yeah.
like, Mama, she's not going to try to do that. She respects me.
Yeah.
Doesn't Dick respect me? You talk about submission. In
Yeah.
the Bible, it says submission to each other.
Yeah.
So submission is not even about just like the woman submitting to the man,
No.
right? It's about what I want is to find a partner, submit to each other.
Yes.
And a lot of
And
people
not in a
miss,
submissive way.
well, if you're submitting to each other,
You're
then you're,
submitting to each other.
it's,
You're committing to each other.
yeah. And then it's funny because he says a lot of people like they miss their blessings because of things that they like put in all these other considerations like, oh, he's not tall or he's too chubby or, and he goes,
Right.
and it's reminiscent of Aisha's list that she had a list that she was like, remember in one of the first episodes, she had a list of things,
The
very
hairline,
long
the
list.
skin,
Hmm.
the whites of the
Yeah.
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, it's not those things. It's who
Uh,
should understand you and who would respect your decision because most of the time respect is earned. And I think I earned it 100%
yeah.
in the life of
Yeah.
Aisha, right? And Blaze is like, all right, well, since your mom said, and I did think that, not even to move on, I do think that that was really shocking that he said that.
Yeah.
I agree with you, like that partnership thing.
Yes.
Um, and Blaze is like, all right, well, since your mom said it, and I want to trust you. You're not going to mistreat Maxwell. Okay. And
Yeah.
then,
Okay.
okay. And then
Let's
the dad says, okay, I'm okay with the age thing. Okay.
yeah,
And then
okay.
mom says, well, Sarah, okay. You know,
Exactly.
Sarah,
As soon as she heard
Aisha
about
has,
Sarah.
she goes, Aisha has not yet reached Sarah's age.
No,
And I just write down in my notes, this is bonkers.
this is bonkers. There's what, 70 years apart?
So, Aisha's not 90 yet. So it's
No,
all good.
she's got time.
You know, what's funny? Like, Isaac's name, like it actually so Isaac is the son of Sarah, right? Sarah gave birth to Isaac. She was like 90 years old and names Isaac Laughter. They name him Laughter because Isaac, which means laughter, reflecting her reaction, Sarah's reaction when
Yeah.
she was told that she was going to bear a child at her old age.
Wow.
So just like that idea that even she was incredulous, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Um yeah.
I'm telling you,
So
knowing you is like having a book of encyclopedias. You
well, they join hands
yeah.
and they pray, and
Yeah.
she goes into tongues. No one bats an
Oh, yeah,
eyelash.
no one bats an eye. I was like,
Your
"Wait a minute.
face, your face.
Praise to God, praise to God, blah, 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 blah." And no one's like ever like, right? I'm like, "What am I
Dude,
watching?" And I'm not judging religious people, I'm not, I just don't understand that tongue stuff.
well, that's the point. If you understood it, you'd be the devil. Is that
Oh,
it?
yeah. Yes, that's right,
Whew.
the devil cannot translate the
You
tongues.
can't get over the tongue stuff. I can't get
I
over
can't.
the reasoning. Their circular reasoning just baffles me.
Oh, God. I have such a headache.
I do too.
Yeah.
From I don't know. Oh my god. We did it. We
We
success
did
took us
it.
2 hours
We
plus,
survived. Good job.
but we are unpacking. Oh my gosh, we need to get our tiny suitcases so the unpacking doesn't take so long. I don't know if our listeners, well, they seem to listen. They listen the
They
whole
seem to
episodes, many
listen.
people.
I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you because you're wonderful, I'm wonderful, we do a great job.
And so humble.
We're
So
so humble. W We're so humble. But,
what is your biggest takeaway?
from this complete episode,
Yeah. After us talking about it together, what did you learn?
uh, I still my takeaway is the 3 C's:
Okay.
communication, communication, communication. A lot of these couples lack it, some have it, and that's where I'm going to leave that. And you have to have the 3 C's.
I thought the 3 C's were chaos, chaos, and chaos.
Okay, well.
Cockamamie, cockamamie, and cockamamie. No, I'm
I
making
didn't
light
think
of
this
it.
episode
I'm
was that
making light.
chaotic. I thought it was very
It
emotional.
Yeah.
I thought it was, you know, it hit I think it hit a lot of nerves with some people, like Marissa and all of them really. And,
It
this
really was about communication. You're right.
it's all about
And the
it's
great
what I think.
outdoors.
And the great outdoors. Yeah. I'm dying to see what happens next week. I'm so fascinated as someone like me and you who loves the human condition, who likes to understand the human condition as best as we can, to see how these people are evolving
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
not evolving,
Yeah.
and different cultures, whatever, just to see how they evolve because of their possible love for someone else from a different country. It's interesting to me. I'm very fascinated by it.
I am. I think I'm also interested in the question you asked about Mallory and Rashid in particular. On their next time on, they show, and again, I know these coming attraction bits
Yeah.
lead us in a way, and sometimes, oftentimes, usually mislead us.
Yeah.
But it does seem
Absolutely.
like we have Brandon sticking up for Rashid's opinion, and maybe that will
Yes.
sway
Yeah.
regarding the prenup, right, in particular, and maybe that will change a dynamic in their relationship. And I
Yeah.
hope that, because
I hope
they seem
so.
like a sweet couple.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And I
But if
actually
they break up, could give me $3, so it's a win-win.
it's a win-win.
No, they're real people, and they seem like they have a good connection in many ways, except this one sticking point.
And I know what that sticking point is. They go from a 0 to 100 by cursing each other out on a dime.
I meant the sticking point being Brandon, but you're talking about their communication style. And in this, you're right,
Yeah.
because the Brandon issue can get resolved or disappear,
Yeah,
right? But
it sure
the
can.
communication, as you would say, it's about doing the work. Yeah, that
About
work
doing
has
the
to be
work.
done.
You gotta punch
Yeah.
that time card. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a relationship, punch that time card every day. Every day.
All right, I think it's time for, for
It's
you to go to
time.
bed and for me to start my day.
Yes. I love it. You're the best.
Oh, thank you.
But
I want to thank our,
I wanna thank all
I
the
want to,
listeners.
me too.
I wanna thank Scribbles,
Oh, Scribbles, our mascot.
our mascot.
He
Yes.
really does like to watch the program. He's adorable.
Ah,
He's so he likes the colors, I guess.
I love it. But I wanna thank the listeners. We wouldn't it wouldn't be possible without you guys listening to us. Um, we're really passionate about what goes on this program, and, we've grown some friendships, and,
Hmm.
what is life without connection?
Yeah, the human condition. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I like this program a lot, and then I just recruited you before you said yes before even watching it.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, I
it was
can't
like grown this idea, this concept of the podcast was like grown out of
well,
our
th
wanting to connect with each other, honestly.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I took it as a vehicle to get to know you better, and look what
likewise.
happened. Yeah. It's been
Actually, my
great.
mom suggested it, honestly, and that was her pulling the strings,
Yeah.
as she does.
She does very well. She's the Jedi master.
Well, I'll say this to mom, but as we say goodbye, "Mom, I miss you." And my mom is
Yeah.
recovering. She is recovering, and I know you're gonna get well, by the
Yeah.
time you hear this even, and by next week's episode, you'll be feeling so much better.
Yes. She has a great team of love and support around her every minute of the day.
Thank you guys, because I'm far
Yeah,
away. So thank you for
absolutely.
taking care of
Of
her.
course.
All right, my brother-in-law, you do have to get to bed.
Thank you again. I do.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.